Hello, I give you a quick update of today's market and some news. For that, I'm going to share my screen. First, we look at charts. So we can see here we had a very nice pump from of Bitcoin. It actually broke all-time high, so it went to a new all-time high, which is approximately 66K, 67K almost. Then there was a rejection, of course. If we zoom in, then we see this is the old all-time high, this line here, this resistance. So at the moment, it's retesting that. And then we have another level of the broadening wedge, which we monitor. So if it breaks down, there might be a correction all the way down, potentially maybe 59K. But yeah, ultimately, uptrend is full in trend. So next target is about 70, 72K, and then potentially we go higher all the way to 90K. But like I say, we have to be careful. Overall, broader market. They also pumped. If you look at S&P 500, actually, it's quite funny. So we have seen that dip, right, and then relief rally, and then it dipped below, which is actually a very bearish sign. But then we hovered here a couple of days, and then we went up again. So now we can almost see that if this is like a inverse head and shoulder pattern. After we broke this, actually now it looks bullish again. Okay, this was kind of a resistance. If there would have been a rejection here and going lower, then of course we have again that relief and lower pattern, which would be bearish, but it didn't play out, so it didn't work. It didn't happen. So means now at the moment it looks bullish again, almost back to normal. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. Financial markets also going up. So overall market looks pretty bullish. If you look at the US dollar, it went down. So I think that's also one of the reasons why the stock market and the financial sector went up. US dollar essentially had a correction. This might turn around at some point because I think there's still some upside. Yeah. So I don't think it will break down. But this is actually something you can't really do technical analysis. This is more dependent on macro and economics and so on. So at the moment, looking at crypto, at Bitcoin, looks bullish. Yeah. The trend is your friend until we break the trend, essentially. So let's see, but always monitor the macro market. Of course, there was a couple of good news recently. I'll show you some of them. For example, here, Galaxy, which is already a big crypto fund, they raised another 325 million for NFTs and gaming in particular. So Mike Novogratz here, this is pretty bullish, and you can see there's a lot of money in that space, which just waits to be deployed into new projects. So crypto market is very well capitalized. I think I've mentioned last time Coinbase started the NFT marketplace. So now they also announced that they actually have the NBA as a partner, which is also pretty big because it's like the official basketball league in the States. So that's pretty big. So they probably do digital collectibles, collectible cards or physical cards. Or collectibles which are backed by physical cards would also be an option. So this is pretty interesting. You can sign up actually on Coinbase now for the marketplace for some early access. We also saw Playboy. They launched recently an NFT project. It's called Rabbitars. Also very interesting. There are no pictures here, so let's see. But like I say, I think all the big brands will go NFT, right? It's just another marketing channel for them, and it's just another sales channel potentially if you actually have some cool artworks which you can sell. Some institutional news. Nomura looks to offer crypto service to Japanese institutions and institutional investors. So Nomura is one of the largest private equity bank and private equity firm in Japan, out of Japan. They are operating globally, so they are pretty big. And they also venture into crypto. No surprise here. This one is another big story, even though I didn't know PIMCO. But PIMCO apparently is it's a large asset fund with over 2 trillion assets under management. So a very big one. And they also going to embrace cryptocurrencies, right? So of course, all the big players, they don't want to miss out. So this is called institutional FOMO, right? If you come in when it's already high, but who knows where this can go. Also, keep in mind, with a lot of bullish news, and a lot of hype, this can also indicate a top. So you're always got to be wary, okay? I found that also interesting here, a tweet. Web 1 is essentially all the normal browser stuff, which we had previously, which were created, where companies create the content and companies earn the money. Web 2 was then stuff like Facebook, for example, and what we do and what we use now mostly, where people create content and companies still earn money because your data will be sold, and so that's kind of the way companies earn money. Web3, where the infrastructure is run on blockchain, for example, or by a community, the data not necessarily gets used and sold. So essentially, it's going towards people create and people also earn, so to a more fair way, which is ultimately also reflecting blockchain as a technology ultimate cause. Okay, and then another tweet. Bito is the new ETF traded on New York on Nasdaq, which was approved 2 days ago, and it has a trading volume of 1 billion already on the second day. So this is pretty big. So let's see where this all goes. Obviously, we hope to have some more uptrend, but at some point there will be corrections and nothing goes up only. We have to see, but also in a bullish sentiment, in a bullish market, it can be that there are no dips, okay, or dips are bought up very quickly, as you can see here on those wicks. Okay, whenever a dip, people buy, even here, people buy. So if you wait somewhere at 50K, yes, we might drop there, and probably we will drop there at some point. But who knows when, right? So maybe we go straight here to 100K, and we kind of miss that rally, waiting for that to come. But that maybe only the 50K maybe only comes when we turn bearish into bearish sentiment. So it's not easy to kind of find the right entry, and you will never buy exact bottom and sell the exact top. But it's good to go with a trend. It's good to keep macro under observation, and yeah, and of course listen to some of the stuff I'm saying. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.